And welcome back to Proline. I'm Dave Kochen, joined by Jim Feist. We've got a lot to talk about still on today's show, coming to you direct from beautiful and hot Las Vegas. We're going to look at some NFL odds in the playoffs and playoff chances, I should say, of some teams, and whether it's a good bet or not, while also assessing the chances of these teams. Meanwhile, though, I want you to play the rest of June with me in baseball, plus the NBA Finals for $39. That's two sports, plays every day. And as a bonus, when you sign up, you're going to get a high roller release that I've got going tonight. Call 1-855-472-2577. Jim, you're going to be looking to add to this enormous baseball run you've been on, 40 and 22. You got a blockbuster Friday special.
The good thing about that 40 and 22, I don't lay big prices. That's right. A lot of them are dogs, most of them competitive. I've got a 5-play countdown going on. 5-play baseballs going on Friday. All 5 for $25. That's right. I'm 40 and 22. You want to get on that. Including in that is my first baseball game of the month for June. In May, I went a perfect 8-0 with my games of the month. If you're a serious player and you want to win, get on board with my Friday 5-play countdown. 5 plays, $25. 866-546-9467.
All right, we have a few different things that we want to cover in today's show as far as the NFL is concerned. One of them, they've got odds. You can bet on all kinds of things now for the National Football League. Even if you've got good opinions, though, there are some things that are just not worth betting. And one of these is we've got odds on making the playoffs or not. You might have a strong opinion on one team or another, but they're kind of robbing you as far as the price is concerned. I mean, these are just not good bets. You got to look for value when you bet. And this is one where, for instance, let's just take an off-the-wall team. Let's say the Buffalo Bills. Now, they right now would be, I think it's fair to say, and also ran in terms of where they're projected in the AFC East. But they're only plus 180 to make the playoffs. So even if you think the Bills are going to break through, move forward this year with Rex Ryan in his second year and Taylor starting for his second year, et cetera, the team probably a little better than they were last year. Plus 180 is just not good enough. You got to give me more.
It's not a good enough price. I could make a case for Buffalo because they are a competitive team. They have changed coaching. They got some style changes, added some players. And you have issues with Brady and all that stuff going on up there. Miami is still looking for a place to land, with talent and everything, and their coaching changes and everything else. So there's not a lot. And the Jets, of course, without the quarterback issue, they refuse to pay Fitzpatrick.
Well, that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to get into that too. But let's talk about another team. Talk about a price. What would you make the chances of San Francisco making the playoffs?
Right.
Let's look at who is in their division. They've got the Rams, which questionable. Who knows what they're going to do? But then you have Arizona and you got Seattle. Okay, so if Arizona and Seattle, which are kind of co-favorites to win that division, Seattle a little bit more, that means how the heck does San Francisco get there? How do they win the division? How do they become a wild card? We know how bad they are, same as kind of Cleveland. And San Francisco getting 900 to 1? It should be 90,000 to 1. There's no way. This is where the books.
Actually, not.
Is that
no, you're only getting 600.
Oh, the 600 to 1.
The no is minus 900.
Oh, I got you. So that's, oh my God. So that's even worse. So, I mean, this is where the books get, you talk about VIG, you're not laying 11 to 10 here. You're laying about 11 million to 10 to get that bet in. So you really have to shop for prices, and sometimes these proposition bets are just not worth it. And if somebody allowed you to parlay, and this might be hard to find, San Francisco not making it, Cleveland not making it, to name like 5 teams that you absolutely know are not going to make it to the playoffs in your mind, and parlay that, you would probably get at least a price that you could live with.
You could put the Chargers in that group.
You probably could, yes.
Yeah. If San Diego's in the playoffs, that's going to be a pretty big shock to a lot of people. Now, the Jets are an interesting team. They've got a quarterback situation right now. I mean, they've got 2 young guys they're hoping develop. They've got the kid from West Virginia, Geno Smith, who hasn't panned out. And then there's the Fitzpatrick situation. The Jets players are making it clear who they want.
They're pissed. Yes.
Well, you've got one guy, Decker. He caused a little bit of a ruckus last week because he skipped all the team practices.
and there was somebody else.
Brandon Marshall
yes.
did too.
Yeah.
So they're saying, look, we want Fitzpatrick. The problem is that Fitzpatrick doesn't like the offer, particularly. It's 3 years, $24 million, and it's
I don't
not
blame him.
configured the way he wants it.
I don't blame him. They paid $17 million to Osweiler. This guy hasn't ever done anything. He doesn't have the experience that Fitzpatrick has. They're in a position to win this division. They could win this division. It's not impossible for them to step up and beat the Patriots. That is not impossible for them to do that.
Here's the difficulty. I'll take the team side for a moment. Fitzpatrick's a bridge. The Jets want him as a bridge quarterback. They're hoping that either Petty or Hackenberg. Good luck with Hackenberg. I mean, I just never saw anything in the colleges at Penn State to suggest he's an NFL quarterback. But the Jets like him, and I've been wrong before. That's for sure. Maybe they'll be right. But their hope is that Fitzpatrick's just a bridge quarterback because they don't want to start Geno Smith. And that's the problem is, can you pay a guy that kind of a price structure for 3 years when you really only want him for one?
Dave, I got to make an argument for this.
I'm just saying with the Jets, that's the Jets
I
argument.
know where they're coming from, but as a business person, they pay kids coming out of college.
I know.
A ton of money just to sign. This guy wants $17 million a year. They paid that to a couple other guys in the league. He's proven himself. The Jets players like him. They trust him. They have faith in him. And the Jets players all have limited careers. There's only a certain number of years that they can play football at a high level and possibly make it to the Super Bowl and win the championship. You mentioned a couple guys, Marshall and Decker. How many years do they got?
Yeah.
They have a chance with a guy like this, if you can keep him healthy and a couple things happening in their division, to get into play. I don't blame them for being pissed. I'd be pissed too, because they're paying big bucks to kids coming out of school. They paid Johnny Manziel with all the red flags coming out of college, and this guy, we all knew he couldn't play. We all knew he wasn't big enough, he wasn't fast enough, and he had off-field problems with all kinds of partying and drugs, no discipline. But they paid him a fortune over in Cleveland.
No, welcome to Cleveland.
So why not pay that kind of money to a guy like Fitzpatrick? A, he's smart, B, he's experienced, and C, he had a good year.
He's serviceable.
So I cannot make a financial decision on not paying him that kind of money when you compare what's going on in the league with other players. I think it's a bonehead move, and I hope he signs somewhere else for good money.
There is already a betting line on the Super Bowl as far as the conference is concerned, and the NFC is -1, total 49.5, which interests a lot of people because, well, wait a minute, didn't the AFC just win the Super Bowl? They did, and I was one of the ones on the Denver Broncos. Let's just say I'm happy I cashed the ticket.
Right. What, they have 95 yards in
They
one
weren't,
game?
they weren't real good in that football game, but
No.
they happened to win. The NFC's favored because it's a little stronger conference.
They should be more than one.
I think you're getting a little bargain
I think
there.
it's a bargain at one.
Yes.
I mean, you got Arizona, you got Seattle just out of one division, the possibility. Of course, now when you look at the AFC, there is a team that, I'll give it to you right here. I really think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best AFC team this year.
I like that team.
And if they went up against anybody in the NFC, I'm not going to have an easy time making the NFC a favorite over them. Now, that's today. This is July or June.
But I think that's see, we just talked about something that's probably not a good bet, which are those odds to make the playoffs where
Right.
you're just not getting the best of it. This is just a flat line, and if you think one conference has more good shots at winning the Super Bowl than the other, the line's 1. Go ahead and take advantage of it.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
I think we're running short on time, so we're going to wrap it up. But if you want to get free plays every day on a recorded message, it's very easy to do so. It's toll free, 1-888-478-9222. That's 1-888-478-9222. Free plays on tape every day.
Also, at ProLineTV.com, click on the subscribe button and get notifications on new videos. Plus, you'll get sent a code to get 7 days of my service absolutely free. That's ProLineTV.com.
And we want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll do it again next week. In the meantime, For Jim Feist, I'm Dave Koch, and thanks for watching Proline. Have yourselves a great betting week. We'll talk to you next time.